parents that particular night, and speaking about college and so forth. But, you know, we have 150 kids on the team. You see, there's a lot more could be there, you know. So I think that the parent, as tired as they may be when they come home and so forth, as much as they want to play a golf or whatever it is, they must either take the youngster with them, they've got to involve themselves, because I think the world today can also be very cruel in terms of neglect. You see, in terms of neglect. Some kids are destroying themselves physically. Some children are not enjoying the world as they were meant to enjoy. It should be an enjoyment, the situation. So I would think that, one, you've got to give yourself to your children just as you would give it to business. You certainly have to give it to children and their surrogates, the coaches. The coaches should know the coach. You should be able to talk to them. How's my child doing? Anything more we could? Well, we could send him to a clinic. He could do this. He could sit with a film. They must extend themselves above that with the coach. The coach, just like the classroom teacher, they can't be ignored. They've got to be involved. And it makes a lot of difference to me if a parent is asking, how's he getting along? Well, he could do this, or he's not behaving himself, or he's not doing his studies as well. So the child knows this. Once you say you're talking to the coach, they know you're in communication. I tell the parent, I say, make sure the next marking period, bring me the grades. I try to get them through a system where we can get the grades on all of our youngsters, so that you can see some of the problems that might be developing. Or if the youngster wants to go to college, or what level college do they want to go to? Are they pushing themselves as hard as they can? Someone may say, well, I'm going into engineering, but maybe they're not preparing themselves to go to engineering. Or what are the different types of engineering? What are the different types of engineering schools? You see, have they searched that out? So all of that communication, there's so much to be learned that the parent has to be involved with their child in the school setting in order to maximize their success as just being good people and good parents themselves later on. So you just have to be involved. You have to know the coach's name, you have to know the teacher's name, you got to be up there on parents' night, or the wife, one of them have to be there, or somebody got to be there. If it's a grandparent, the grandparent goes, whoever. But someone, so that child knows that he's being followed in terms of his success. Not for any other negative reason, but to help him be successful. All of us here in this room, if someone else is talking to your job people or trying to get you to be a better performer in your job, the same thing has to take place. You've got to be involved, you've got to know the people, and the more successful people tend to be that way. So if I go to a clinic, I try to listen of what's being said, so I learn. There's no end to learning. I want to be up on things. I want to be better than I was. I want to give the kids that. I want to talk about that. And that carries over. They know that classroom teacher or that coach is out there learning. You see, you go to a clinic and you see other people learning. I want to know what they're learning, so I am better prepared to compete with them, and I'm better able to communicate to the kids that I'm out there working. Just like I ask them to work, I work too, or our coaches are asked to work. A lot of it is done through either the weight training or the off-season work and so forth. If you have a gifted man in that area, we have a man here by the name of Richie Carroll, who's an outstanding person in the area of weight training. And he communicates a lot more than weight training. There's a whole area of character building. There's a whole area of where are you going, what are you going to do with your life. So I think you have to do that. Because also there's an awful lot taking place today on TV and so forth that's not exactly positive to the young people that are exposed to it. And it's going to be more and more as I watch it. So the challenge will be greater for the parent in the home. So I think it's so important to have excellent after-school activities, excellent support, and excellent coaches. They should be giving an awful lot of emphasis to those surrogate people, whether it's the band teacher. I saw a concert here last week at St. Francis Prep, was terrific. Dr. Corbino and his people did a great job. So, but there could have been a lot more people in the participating by watching and going out to see their children, or more children playing in the orchestra or whatever. I think there's an awful lot can be done during the day and after school, and it's got to be, we have to do it, I think, a little younger maybe in terms of what we're offering them. So there's an awful lot in that area where I think we can help the young people, because the immigrants did it. Think about it. With almost no education, many of the children, my parents didn't go to high school or whatever. They come over looking just to get a job, you see? So that the question there was that they did it by their, I guess you would say, your involvement with the children, or support. Or they were smart enough to push you in an area where they knew people were doing it. You'll also get that from a situation where they'll say, look at this particular coach, that particular instructor, whatever it is, get that they do a good job. In every area you'll find out there are people that are more successful in the area, and you want to try to expose your children to those people and take advantage of the things that are out there. There are people in every area, every community that are doing outstanding things. And I think it helps to know those people and to try through the educational process to have them be exposed to them. So that's my own feeling on the subject.
Great. Jack?
You know, Coach, just following up on, you know, Sean's comments, and the thing that I'm most impressed and most proud of our legacy of St. Francis football isn't so much all these championship trophies, and there are many, but an incredible statistic is over 600 of your players have played college football. 30 years ago, I was in this exact same room, and you were up at the chalkboard, and you were talking about SAT scores, you're talking about campus visits, official visits, unofficial visits, Division I scholarship schools, Division III schools where there's no, just financial aid, no athletic money. In the 70s, we had Frankie Doria, who went to Purdue. We had Tom Nevitt, who went to North Carolina, was Lawrence Taylor's roommate at Carolina, and then finished up here with Sean at Columbia. My senior team, the 78 City Division Championship team, there were 21 seniors. 20 played college football, 4 in the Ivy League. Garrett Oswald played at the University of Cincinnati with Joe Kaleka, a former Terrier who graduated 2 years earlier than us. And what's incredible to me is my grandparents were Irish immigrants off the boat. My mom was working. She never graduated from school. Out of the 20 players that we had that played college football, only one, Dennis Casey's father, was the only college graduate of the parents on my team. And this is 30 years after you've been coaching at St. Francis. And the impact you've had on young men, they become attorneys, they become entrepreneurs, they've become captains on the New York City Fire Department, the police department, because they had the opportunity to go to college, because you gave them a vision that if they worked hard in the classroom, they worked hard in the weight room, they worked hard on the football field, that the world was an oyster that they could develop. And that's something that a lot of people can't say. 600 of your student athletes have played college football. All-Americans at Notre Dame, captains on Ivy League championships at Harvard, and every school in between, Elon College, Wisconsin, the names are endless. And that, I think, is your greatest legacy, because you prepared us to be the next generation and support St. Francis, like Mr. Ribonak and Mr. Callahan have, and the Donatos and the Palmericos, and, you know, others have to a lesser extent some of the younger guys. And just to think about, you know, your legacy as I define it, it's how you changed the lives of everyone you touched, because you showed us a way that we could be better. You showed us a way that we could do better than our grandparents, than our parents. And that still holds true today, because many of the boys you're coaching are coming from similar backgrounds, single-parent homes. Few, if any, of the parents have gone to college, and you're giving them that direction. And as you know, you're talking about President Obama, you're talking about society, the incredible things the McGuire Foundation is going. To me, that's the most important thing, that you inspire these young men to push the boundaries of what they can achieve. And I just really like you to, to talk a little about that. How do you feel about that? How does that resonate with you? Because you have so many young men that really owe their professional achievement to Vince O'Connor, Frank Nastro, Owen Kappa, Owen Justinian, Franciscan Brothers, and your football program here.
Well, first of all, Jack, I want to do it.